Hi, I'm Lane, and I'm here with Dr. DeShield Mays, and we are here to bring awareness to a national campaign, Imagine a Day Without Water. The education campaign brings together diverse stakeholders to highlight how water is essential, invaluable, and in need of investment. I think this campaign helps us to think beyond the basics of how water is used, and most of us really don't think about how water is in everything around us, either directly or indirectly. As a dentist, if you were to imagine a day without water in your office, what would that look like? Would you be able to operate as usual?
I absolutely would not probably be able to operate as usual. Water is so important for dental practice. From the time the patient walks in the door, making sure everything is clean and sterilized, to the time that they leave out, just knowing and feeling better about their mouth being clean. And so water is just so important.
I recently went to the dentist and I can only think of a few things that use water in the office, like the mouth rinse and the tooth sprayer, but I know there's so much more. Can you walk us through a few things that use water in your dentist office?
Sure. So as soon as the patient walks into the operatory, in which we're in right now, the first thing that they're required to do is to wash their hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. And then they're given a medicated mouth rinse here, which is about 50% hydrogen peroxide and water mixture. They rinse their mouth out with that before we even start the process. So both of those things, of course, require water, and so important. Next thing is, depending on how much bacteria or plaque that's in their mouth, we may use this instrument here called a Cavitron. And a Cavitron is solely powered off of water. It's almost like a mini pressure water hose for your mouth. And it is great at killing bacteria and cleaning your teeth properly, and it solely runs off of water, so it's definitely needed. Another thing that we use is the air water syringe. So if I'm doing the prep on a tooth, which means that I'm taking out a cavity, or I am making a cap on a tooth, or just cleaning the tooth off, shaping it up, it's important that you can see what's on the tooth. Make sure you got rid of the cavity. Make sure you got rid of all the bacteria and germs. And you need water definitely to make sure that you do that. Last but not least, before the patient leaves, we recommend a series of different things that they may need. And one of those things is called a water pick. And a water pick definitely requires water. So this little reservoir here actually can be filled with water, and they use this tip here to really clean in between their teeth. And it kind of simulates the same thing that the Cavitron does, but for at-home care. So all of these things require water.
Is there anything else in your office that uses water?
Definitely. So as soon as we're done using our instruments with our patients, we drop them in here. This is called our Ultrasonic Cleaner. It's filled completely with water and a cleaning material that uses like waves, electromagnetic waves, to really clean the instruments prior to us rinsing them off here in our sink, which requires water, and then placing them in our sterilization bags. Once they're placed in our bags, we then place them into either our autoclave here that uses water and heat, steam to sterilize our instruments, or we place them in what we call our statum. And our statum also runs a little bit faster than our autoclave, but it totally is based off of water as well. You must fill this reservoir completely up with water in order for it to be used. So as you can see, just like I said, from the time the patient walks in the door to the time that they leave, it's so important for us to use water properly to make sure that we're maintaining great patient care.
Has this campaign changed your personal or professional views of the value of water?
Definitely. I have realized that water is something that is just a basic necessity of life. You cannot run your day without it. From the time you wake up in the morning, go to work, and come home, you have to make sure that water is a part of that in order to keep you and your family safe. I realized that just to run my practice on a daily basis, how important water is. So to make sure you have a clean, reliable resource of water is so important. So I hope people don't take it for granted.
Thank you. This was so informative. I really appreciate you giving us some insight into how water affects the dentistry world, and I even learned some things today. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.